Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back, everybody. Today we are playing Ets2 as promised. Thumbnail's a bit strange and playing weird, silly buggers. So if you came here looking for ATS, so I don't know what's going on there, but regardless, we are here to play some Ets2. We just streamed on Facebook, so if you're keen to have a look, we did play a little bit of ATS American Truck Sim in the Kentworth W900 over there. So if you're keen to have a look at that, jump over there as well. The video will be at our page, and the link for our page is in the description. But we are here to play some ETS. I have a job lined up for us, taking empty pallets from Copenhagen to Calais. And then we'll see how we go, how long it takes us for there. But this is pretty much the job. We're working for IKEA today. And let's have a look at the map. It's not a bad job, this one. Not a bad job at all. Why did I put that? Yeah, not a bad job at all. So we're going to be here for a little bit tonight. And then, depending on how I feel, we'll probably, because the throat's still playing up a little. Not too much, but a little bit. I can feel it starting to get a little bit rusty. I've been drinking lots of water and hot chocolates and all those things, so we're looking after it to some degree. And yeah, so let's crack in. I don't know what I'm talking about. It is very early in the morning here in Australia. It's about 1 a.m. So just give me 1 second. I have audio difficulty on my end because you guys can still hear the music. That's why I was meant to kill the tunes. There you go. We are amateurs. We are new. This is our second stream on YouTube, and our third stream all up, if you count the Facebook stream that we did about an hour and a half ago. So tis what it is. And like I said, we might be on Twitch a little bit later, depending on how my throat holds up and all of that good stuff. And whoa, sorry, that was my bad. I didn't even look that way. I'm not going to be able to get this trailer past enough. Oh man, that was my bad. Early morning driving. But hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's well. It's good to be back on YouTube, and man, what a crazy 24 hours it's been. I have literally done nothing. No. So yesterday, as you guys know, my throat was a little bit. If you watched the stream from yesterday, my throat was a little bit croaky and I was coughing and stuff like that, and it seems to be getting a little bit better. We'll see how we go though. Okay, I can kind of feel it starting to, but that's because I was talking so much in my last stream on Facebook. So, but yeah, so yesterday after stream, went to bed, didn't sleep a lot because of the cough. And then from there we kind of kind of went for a walk, took the kids to school in the morning, and then came home, laid on the couch all day, and watched TV with the little man. When he went to bed, had a 3-hour nap, which helped us a fair bit. And then, yeah, just watch TV. Had burgers for. No, we don't want to turn here yet. Had burgers for dinner, and I've had some hot chocolates and teas and all sorts to try and soothe the throat a bit. But yeah, it is what it is. You know, you get a sore throat, but we're doing our best to try and get through it. And yeah, it doesn't seem as bad as yesterday. So, and I didn't cough as much in the last stream, but there you go. There's one. It seems to only happen when I talk about it. So let's not talk about it anymore. Today we are in the Scania Streamline, and man, I love the feel of this truck. I love the compared to the Kentworth W900. I love the Kentworth on ATS, but this just feels when you come back to this, and it just feels tighter. It doesn't feel as loose. Everything feels good. And in saying that, we are playing with Pro mods. I think 2.4 maybe. I can't remember the number. I think it's 2.4. But yeah, we got Pro mods installed for Ets2, which is why we're getting all the good sounds and all that good jazz. The AI acts a little bit better. The graphics are a little bit better. Everything just a little bit more better. And what I have noticed as well is that the eye tracker is a little bit more cooperative. In terms of it's not well, it is when I shake it around, but it's not shaking around too much compared to ATS. ATS seems to throw it around a bit. So, but like I've said yesterday, I haven't taken the time to properly configure, which I was meant to do during the day yesterday, but obviously being sick didn't get a chance to do that. So, but I should get a chance today to figure that a little bit better on ATS. And not only that, it's just trying to get used to it as well. The Tobii Eye Tracker 5 is a brilliant product, and I can't suggest it enough. Like if you play trucking on the regular and you can afford to throw out, you know, a bit of money for the eye tracker, do it. It's well worth it. It makes the experience a lot better. What I haven't tried, but I really want to try, is triple screen monitor with the eye tracker. I reckon that'd be just as good. I currently, whilst streaming, only do one monitor at a time, as I use my other monitors for other things, just to keep an eye on everything. But yeah, triple screen I reckon would be awesome. I reckon it'd be. But yeah, so that's been my 24 hours since we've last been here, and it's been great. It's been great. We had a couple of people subscribe to the channel, which was great, and a few views on the last stream as well. So it's early happenings, which is great, and yeah, really enjoying ourselves. So. Been good. And I'm just keen to be streaming. Hopefully getting some videos together today as well. I'm feeling a lot better, like I said, and hopefully I can get some time in my day today to get a couple of videos put together and all of that jazz. Because that would be cool. That would be cool. So. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope your weeks are going well. I know that a lot of people overseas are still stuck at home and all of that. And I know it's a bit of a hard time, so my heart goes to you guys, and I hope that you guys can stay safe, and hopefully you're doing the right thing and you know, doing everything you can during this time. But yeah, hopefully using this time to do. I hope you guys are using this time to kind of do things that you may not get the time to do in your day-to-day lives for you. Whether it be, you know, sitting down and relaxing, as relaxed as you can get, I guess, and you know, just taking the time for you. That's what I've found has worked for me in this time. We've been considerably lucky in terms of we haven't had a lot of numbers in Victoria because we have been in strict lockdown. And have done the considerable amount of us have done the right thing. So it's been we've been pretty lucky. But I definitely know, and I'm very aware that a lot of other places I haven't been in, and it sucks. It definitely sucks. So I wish everyone the best at this time. 2.5. What did I say? 2.4. 2.51 is our pro mods. So we're going from I'm spaced out. I can't remember where we were. We'll get back to you. But we are in Germany. We would have been in Denmark. So from Denmark to Germany, we've taken the boat, and we've got a decent ride ahead of us. So got a decent amount of petrol as well, so we're all right on that front. And yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. Looking real good. And I tell you what, I've been keen for some ETS. Oh, I love Euro Truck Simulator. If I had to choose between ATS and ETS, it would be ETS. But in a perfect world, I would do a cheeky and put some of the ATS trucks in ETS. But the Scanias and the Kentworths are my favourite. They're my favourite trucks. So it's not to say that I don't drive anything else, but they just feel better. They feel good. They sound better. They're my faves. I was driving Volvo for the longest time, and I wouldn't say that it was my favourite, but it was a comfortable ride. And then I tried a Renault. It was a while back, so I couldn't tell you exactly what truck I was driving, but the Renault felt good. The Renault felt good. No, I was just looking at the Renault, so. How beautiful this is. That's beautiful. Wow. You get a lot of roads like this in a little bit closer to the city, in Melbourne. You definitely don't get the wind turbines though, like the windmills and stuff like that. But the greener type, probably not the farmland, the dusty farmlands, but you actually heading out towards Werribee from Melbourne, you do get a bit of that. And you get a little bit of coastal stuff as well, heading out that way. So it kind of reminds me of that a bit. Yeah. I'm a bit of a sucker for when you're driving along in ETS, and it kind of resembles a little bit like home, and in parts that you've driven, it kind of really builds up that immersion for you and stuff like that. Especially with eye tracker and everything, that's like the technology behind it all is crazy, and the fact that SCS does all of the development in-house and stuff like that, and obviously promos adding to it, but such a brilliant game. Such a brilliant game. I love it. I've been playing Euro Truck Simulator for I was around for the first one. I was late to the first one though. I wasn't there from the get-go. I probably paid a year of ETS, and then I bought ETS2 not as soon as it came out. I went through a bit of a Football Manager phase, and then some other games, Crusader Kings, RimWorld, stuff like that. It wasn't long after though, probably 6 or 7 months after sort of a release, that I bought Euro Truck Simulator 2, and back then I was on the controller. I was on the Xbox controller, so we did that. I played that, and it was good. It was good on the Xbox controller. For someone that didn't have a steering wheel and stuff like that, and I had a steering wheel as a kid with the PlayStation 2, but the controller felt pretty good compared to keyboard and mouse. And but my world completely changed once I got a steering wheel. Like it's crazy. But yeah, we were doing the controller for a time, so I've been there. That's always fun. And Flight Simulator with controller and all of that. I do have a joystick for Flight Sim now, but what's that common Logitech? I can't remember what it's called. The Logitech, that it's got like a blue base, and it's very comfortable to play with that one. My only downfall with that stick is that the throttle is so small and somewhat unresponsive. I'd like a bigger throttle, like the one that uses your whole hand. I'd still like to have that stick. I mean, if I had a choice of using a yoke, I'd use a yoke. Yeah. That stick's been with me for some time. I had a stick when I was younger, back when I was in primary school, when we had those were the days of combat flight simulator and stuff, and those games have not aged well. The old combat flight simulator. We had a stick then, and being a kid, I was just crazy. I would thrash absolute crap out of those planes. I remember one of my memories of playing those games. I went to a friend's house. Used to walk to school pretty early, and I'd get to a friend's house just before the bell went, and he was playing Combat Flight Simulator in the morning, and he had a stick as well, and I was just like, oh, I mean, I was shocked. And he was a stickler for rules. Loved the rules. Had to follow all the rules, all the flight rules, and all the flight plans and stuff like that. And I was just like, man, you're in the middle of a dogfight. You do what you need to do to survive. And I was in the middle of a dogfight, and I was coming head to head with someone, and I just plummeted down. I just went right down. And he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You're gonna stall the plane. You're gonna crash the plane." And I ended up pulling out of the stall just in time. I didn't lose control of the engine. And I was probably about, I can't remember now, but it would have been probably about 100 meters to 200 meters off the ocean surface, as I pulled up and then swung up, flew up behind this guy and took him out. And it was AI. It wasn't. There's no multiplayer at this stage, and if there was, I didn't know about it. So, and I just remember the look on my friend's face. It was just like, "How did you do that?" It was such a. It was just one of my early gaming memories. I'll never forget that one. It was great. Obviously, if it was a real plane, I don't think I'd be able to get away with that. But it was cool. It was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. I think that's why I have a deep-seated need for simulation games, because of that thrill that you get of pushing things to its limit and yeah, kind of figuring out what you can and can't do. I might try and get across here. We might try and get some petrol. It did fill up, like, I had to do a couple of things before we started upstream. And the paint job on this Scania was terrible. It was pretty bad. I must have been drunk when I picked the paint job for this truck earlier. But so I went and got it painted. Slight repairs, 300 pound worth of repairs and stuff like that, and did that. And by the time I got out of the garage in Copenhagen and then drove over to IKEA, I'd lost like half a tank. And I went to the petrol station like right before. I mean, I must admit, I was hooning around trying to get it done as quick as possible so we were on for stream. But man, we got through some petrol pretty quickly. Jeez. I was just checking to see how close that trailer was. No traffic. Perfect. You always do that. You pull out and you're like, oh yeah, no traffic, and then you pull out and there's like 10 trucks behind you. It's like, where the hell did you guys come from? Surely my resolution is not that. Yeah. So we've got I've got some plans to do some videos. I was talking in my last stream over on Facebook about iRacing and stuff like that. I'd love to jump into that, and I'm fairly new to iRacing, so jumping into that would be fun. We'll be doing some F1 stuff as well, and that, doing that. I hope my kids go. And lost my train of thought. F1 stuff, and then I want to do a review on the Tobii eye tracker, obviously, because that's been a big part of my gameplay for the last almost week now, and I love it. I'm enjoying it. If you haven't picked that up yet, I am thoroughly enjoying this thing. And I might do a little bit of a setup, settings and setup type thing, tutorials and stuff like that, because I know that there's not a whole ton out there, and I feel like my ETS settings are quite optimal and good like that. And I'd like to show off my Logitech G27 as well, my golden oldie, and yeah, so we'll do a couple of things like that, and in the meantime, just try and find our legs in terms of streaming and where the best place is and what the best way to do it, and all of that. At the moment, we're kind of floating between Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, so as we're trying to grow. And like I said, this is our third stream all up, our second stream on YouTube, so it's still very, very, very early days. My preference would be to do videos on YouTube and maybe stream on Twitch, but obviously you go where the growth is happening, and you know, where people want to watch your stuff. So everyone's got their lights on all the time right now. I don't want to talk too much about, you know, channel growth and stuff like that. We're just out here enjoying ourselves, so it is what it is, you know. Man, look at that sunset through the trees. That is beautiful. Sunset over the rolling hills. The colors, there's like a nice little pinkish purplish tinge in the sky there next to the clouds. You can get that little pinkish twinge in the light. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. The sky's kind of moving towards a pinkish to a purplish to a red. Look at the horizon further on on the road. That is magic. Oh, and look at our rearview mirror. Look at that deep blue. Oh my gosh. This game gets you, man. Such a beautiful game. And with Pro Mods installed, oh my god. The eye candy. Look at that. Look at that. That is beautiful. Ooh. North Rain. Okay, enough. Slow it down, slow it down. Where? inside. Yeah, now we're good. Right into the sunlight. Not as harsh as it could be though. I feel like the sunlight in ATS is a little bit harsher, especially if you're driving right into it. But I don't think you get the shape of the sun driving right into it on an ATS. That's without Pro mods. Pro mods probably does a lot of, I would dare say it does, in terms of biography. Oh, squeaky chair. Oh, I can't sit back because of the eye tracker. You get so immersed in it with the eye tracker that you gotta relax. You hide your eyes behind the steering wheel and stuff like that, and then you're like, wait, why are my eyes not working? What's wrong with my eyes? My eyes they're not moving. The Netherlands. Well, we're moving pretty quickly through some things here. Speeding now as well. According to my GPS. The sign, I'm fairly sure I saw a sign that said 120, but everyone seems to be going a lot faster than us. So. Sun's going down, and we'll be in a bit of darkness soon. Night driving, I love a bit of night driving. Night driving's good. I love a bit of night driving. Seems like we got roadworks up ahead here. Look. I was doing some work on the bridge. Very nice, very nice. We've had a lot of roadworks around where we are in Melbourne. They've been working on the problem with the road. I don't have a problem with fixing the roads, right? That's needs to be done, and what they tend to be doing is widening the widening the roads to fit in more lanes, because it's getting quite congested, populations increasing, so forth, so on, which is, I 100% get that. What I don't like about it is that our train system is currently being worked on as well, and so you then need to take bus replacements, and you need to use those those same roads on the buses, which congests both the roads and the trains at the same time. And so my problem is work on one thing at a time. I understand that the city's growing and things need to get changed and things need to get done. But when I was working at the start of January in 2020, I was working in the city and it's about a 40 to 50-minute train ride, and about an hour and a bit to drive. But when the train works gone off, there's no trains, so the trains are completely stopped. You can't use the train, and sometimes you would get half trains, so you'd get a train into about halfway into town, and then they'd put you on a bus, drive you 3 or 4 stops up, and then you get on another train, because they were working on the middle part. But 9 times out of 10 you wouldn't be able to catch a train, and then so you'd be on this bus, which then extends your travel time 20-30 minutes, okay? Which is fine, okay? Means you gotta get up a little bit earlier in the day, which, you know, that happens. We got the chopper coming in here, look. And so I'm not opposed to that. That's fine. You gotta do that. You gotta do that, right? But then you never had any idea if the bus was going to get stuck on the freeway because of the traffic as well. So it could actually end up, instead of being 20 to 30 minute delay, it could be an hour. I think the worst I had was about 2 hours because we were stuck in gridlock. And so that would mean that for me, going into the city, I had to be at work at, I think it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I was getting up like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And our train system doesn't start till around that time. So I was catching the very first train, or bus replacement, to get into the city and just making it in time for work. Sometimes I'd still be late. So that was my problem with it. That was my problem with it. And I mean, that wasn't all traveling by the bus. Like I said, the longest one was probably 2 hours, but there was a bit of a walk in between. From my house to the train station is a bit of a walk. From the train station to where I was working was a bit of a walk as well. So it was just one of those things that you just couldn't factor. So and that still seems to be happening. That's been a happening thing for I'm not working at the moment, but because I've decided to stay home and be with the kids while my wife pursues her career. And she's doing a pretty good job doing that as well. So it's been good to be at home. I mean, I probably would have been at home anyway. So but yeah. So that was my problem with the roadworks here in Melbourne, is that they didn't time it as well as they could by doing the train works in the same. It followed the same route as the freeway, so you're cutting out too early. And I'm sure there was other people that struggled with that, and I was in a position where I could be late if I wanted to, because I was running I was running the restaurant, so I was in charge. But I'm sure there's places that people weren't in charge and in a similar situation, and they were running late. People get sacked for that. You get 3 warnings and you're out for being late. And there are some workplaces that, I mean, it is against the law to be doing that, but there are some places that they'll throw you under the bus. They don't care, man. If they're trying to get rid of you, and they'll use any excuse, or maybe your boss is a prick or something like that. I'm sure there would have been people that lost their job. I don't know anyone personally, but that was always my fear. And stuff like that's been happening in Melbourne for a very, very long time. And I remember being in a position where I wasn't like that, and things like that would happen. So I'm sure other people, yeah, it happened to other people as well. So I mean, the government just kind of need to factor that in, you know, when you start working on the road and working on the train at the same time, you know, you're kind of really affecting people's lives, and especially, you know, not everyone lives in the same place where they work. You know, people need to travel far, far away, and when you start messing with that a bit, it can be dangerous. It can be dangerous for people. I mean, in saying that though, we are lucky in terms of, you know, we have payments for people that are looking for jobs and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, am I going straight? Yeah, I am. Almost turned the wrong way then. Yeah, you don't want people to lose their job though, just because we didn't time our stuff right. You know what I mean? I understand why we're doing the work though. I understand why we're doing both. I just feel like it needed to be better timed. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. But currently we're still working on the. I mean, I wouldn't trust the train to run on time here in Melbourne anyway, but it's pretty hopeless here. But we're currently working on the freeway near us as well, and they're still just extending the roads. They're doing it near the exits and stuff because they're finding it's hard to get off some of the exits, especially in the morning. It's getting very congested, and it turns into gridlock whenever you get to an exit. So what they've done is they've put pretty much a slipstream, because a lot of people, what we found is, well, what they found was that a lot of people are just going from one suburb to the next suburb, and so they put this little slip lane in the in between the exits. So if you're just going from you know, one place to another, instead of going from one place to 4 or 5 suburbs away, then you can just take the slip lane, and you really don't get in the way of the flow of the freeway. And because of that factor, less cars are merging into traffic, so it's a little bit more free-flowing. But I assume that once the population starts to increase, once we start to get more road users and stuff like that, it's going to do the exact same thing as it did before. It's a band-aid. The slip lane will get congested, and we're already starting to see that a little bit. The slip lane that will get congested, and you kind of need to wait. It's because the exits have all lights and stuff on them as well. So when you come in, you hit by lights, you gotta wait. When you come off, you hit by lights, you gotta wait. So it congests through the slip lane as well. You're gonna have people trying to weave in and out of that, and be silly, and you know, cause accidents and cause congestion on the freeway and all of that. So it's a bit of a band-aid. It works to an extreme, and it'll work for, you know, 90% of the use of that freeway. But when it gets really busy between, you know, 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. when everyone's trying to go to work, or, you know, 8 a.m. to 10 or 11, whatever, it'll work to an extent, and then it'll just get busy again. But you can't. What are they going to do? You know, can't really do much. There are other road options to get through most of it, but population's growing. What happens? We have done a lot of work on our train system as well. There's a lot of we were having a lot of accidents at train crossings, road and train crossings. It was one of our big trouble areas. We have a big one here in our town. Causes a few accidents. Doesn't cause a lot, considering there's one. I'm not sure if they fixed it yet, but there's one a little bit closer to the city, and that's bad. You will see multiple accidents daily on that one, and that's because it has like 3 different turning points, and there's like, you can easily get confused at which lights you're meant to be. There's lights all over it. There's 3 different exit points, and it gets really confusing as to where you're meant to be going. And if you've never driven through it before, and you're looking at a GPS trying to figure out which direction you're meant to go, you could easily cause an accident there. Quite easily. You could slip into the wrong lane and you know, read the wrong light. It's a mess, and yeah, it was causing daily accidents. That was a bad one. I don't know if it's still there. It might still be there. It would take a long time to fix that. But what they've started to do with the trains is they're putting overhead bypasses. So the trains are going over the road, and they've done that to a majority of some of the lines. And there was big protests of people can see in our backyards, because the housing is right up against the train track. In train tracks in a lot of Melbourne. So there was big protests and stuff like that to, you mother. There was big protests and stuff like that to not have them, and so they had to get through that, and then constant argument with council and stuff like that. But they've done most of it now. They've done most of it in a lot of trouble areas. They've gone over. There was talk that they were going to go under, but then no one wanted that. They preferred to go over, and no one wanted over. Everyone has an argument to every side. And can't make everyone happy, but I think the work that they've done, they've redone a few of the stations as well. So some of the stations are up in the air, especially close to the city, where the unis and stuff are. They look great. It's very modern, very sleek. They look really, really good, and to experience from going, spending your whole life. I've always taken public transport. To spend your whole life going through, ground level train works, and then going up on the overhangs and going through. It is magical. And what they've done is they've put barriers up, quite decorational, light. It's kind of like a thick, how do I explain it? It's kind of like a thick glass. It's not glass, but it's like they use it for freeways and highway barriers as well. But and what it does is it reflects the light from the sun. It kind of makes it a little bit more beautiful and stuff like that. But it makes it so that you can't see through the other side, and that's their answer, so that you're not looking through people's backyards. There are parts where you can see through people's backyards. You've got to get up, look around, like you got to be trying. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they've done a really good job at kind of really getting most of that line. Pardon me. Most of the lines, sorry, fixed up with those lights, and it looks great, and you can't see through people's backyards. They fixed it. There's your answer. So, I think it looks great, and I've been to a few of the stations, and they look. Oh, I just stopped in time for that. That was. I'm gonna get stuck here for a while, I think. Yeah, let's go. Man, I just stopped in time for that. I saw that little car right at the last second. I was like, ah! So, yeah, they've done a lot of work. I really like it. It was a pain in the ass to go through, considering the mess with the trains and the mess with the freeway at the same time, and trying to get to work and all of that. But I think it's paid off. I think it looks great, and it's more functional, and will it help them run more trains on time? They reckon they have a 90% train on time. I call bullshit. I really do call bullshit. I don't know how they're getting that number. I've had more late trains than hot dinners, so whether it works or not, that's great. But I think it's definitely causing less accidents on the road, which was the main mission objective, and so they're doing a good job. They've done what they set out to do, and yeah, I'm still not sure if they've done that bigger. I'll probably look that up and have a look and get back to you. But they yeah, that was bad. I've driven through it a few times. Have I driven through that one? There's a couple. Maybe I haven't driven through. No, I have. I've drove through it maybe once or twice, and it's hard. It's a hard thing. My wife has driven through it. She used to drive through it a fair bit, to be honest, but she hated it. She got confused by it regularly, and she's not a bad driver either. So for her to get confused like that really says something. Alright, here we are. Where do you want this? Just there? Let's give this a try. I reckon we can maybe pull this off. This is kind of easy. I say that, I'm gonna completely stuff it up. I need to work on my parking. That is definitely a weakness of mine. Alright, here we go. It's a big... No, I'm going the wrong... No! It's a huge weakness of mine. Oh, no. No, what am I doing? Alright, here we go. I've completely fucked that up. Never mind. I am so bad at parking these trucks, man. I need to get out and get the foreman to come out and park them. Wow. We really unlocked all of that. Jeez, we got up to level 7. I thought we were like 11. So I only started this couple of weeks ago. No, let's do in time because we haven't unlocked any of that. Who we got for time? What are we? Where are we at? Where are we at? Been here for an hour. I think that's good enough. I don't want the video to go on for too long. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you hung out for the whole stream, I know that there's a couple of you lurking around. Thank you so much for being here. Again, a little plug in for the Discord. If you're keen to, just chill out, maybe do a convoy, maybe try and get into a couple of the videos as well. We're trying to do some community convoys. If you just want to talk about trucks or you talk about anything really, we have a Discord that you can hang out in, the Prolistics Discord. There is a link to that in the description. So if you wanna hang out and chill, do that. I set all of that up myself. I'm pretty proud of it, to be honest. It looks pretty jazz. So if you want to hang out and shoot the shit, by all means, come along. And for the guys that subbed last time, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you come back for the next video and this video and all of that. And guys, if you did like what you saw, make sure to hit the like button and all of that. It really does, especially at this crucial point of starting, really does help the channel grow, and get more people putting their eyes on the videos and stuff like that. But yeah, if you do see this and you've gone through the distance of the video, thank you so much for being here. I haven't chewed your ear off too much about our road works and our train works and all of that, but it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, especially streaming. It's been awesome. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys next time. We should be back tomorrow. We'll probably stream tomorrow on YouTube as well. What's tomorrow? Friday. Well, we're already in tomorrow, so it's Friday. We'll probably do a stream here same time as yesterday. We're a little bit later today because we did the Facebook stuff, but we'll probably do a stream here tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see how we go. We had a bit of fun on Facebook, so we'll probably. I didn't mind doing a run on Facebook and then doing a run here, so we'll see how we go. I might jump over to Twitch now and see how that. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning here, so we'll see how we go. I'll have a drink and all of that first and see how we go. But I'm raving too much. Thank you for being here, and hopefully see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day, week.